Good evening and welcome to Truth and Justice TV. And yes, happy Christmas, season's greetings. Today is our Christmas special and it's all about questions and answers for me and for the kids. During this time, it's difficult to try and engage children, get them interested in different things. And for you yourself, you may have some questions, so I'm going to encourage you to text them in. And if it's on the replay, still send in your questions so that we can answer them. It can be about anything because it's a Christmas special. And my name's Dr. Jennifer Obaseki. And today, my special guests are my kids. And the first one is Amani. And the other one is Amira. Now, for those of you who are out there, my nickname is Mum on the Run because I have lots of kids. These are only 2 out of the 5. And I've decided to bring these 2 just as a good example of what kind of games you can play really with regards to bonding. Now, for us at home, we kind of really get into our music and entertainment and programs. We love to watch programs together, but we also really love music. And I must say that some of the questions that I get asked, such as, is that artist still alive? Or when they're having new remixes like, oh, this is a really good tune, not knowing that it's been first brought out in the 80s or whatever. But find those common grounds that you and your kids can engage in quality time and activities together. Those are just our examples. But for today, one of the things that I wanted to give an example of is question and answers. Sometimes your kids might want to get down and ask you some questions. And if you have roundtable discussions with Q&As with your kids, not only do they get to ask you questions, but you get to ask them questions too. Okay? So, on the way here to the studio today, I was telling my children that today they get to ask me questions, and the only rules are no profanity, no swearing, and no deliberately embarrassing questions. So, Armani,
yes.
What's your question for Mummy?
Why would you pick this job? There's tons of other jobs.
Why would I pick this job? There's tons of other jobs.
Yeah.
Really good question, actually. Well, I like doing this job a lot. I've been doing the TV kind of stuff for a long time. Then very many years ago, Auntie Michelle that lives in Florida and I used to do singing. That was before I did law. And, Auntie Adeswa does singing too. So we've always done entertainment and television. And then I had the program before on Ben TV with Uncle Tunde. That was Voice, The Voice, talking about legal empowerment. And I like to give information to the community. So does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Amira, what's your question?
What advice do you have for new businesses opening, especially during the pandemic?
Gosh, okay. My advice for new businesses opening during the pandemic is find your USP, find your unique selling point. What is going to be different about you than your competition? How can you meet people's needs during the season? There's also a lot of unpredictable policy and steps because of the COVID expansion of the virus and how it's mutating. So the thing you have to do is you have to make sure that your plans are flexible. You have to make sure that you have not really tied in contracts. You have to have contracts that have built-in levels of flexibility. So early termination clauses, so you can cancel easily. That's what that means. Then you also have to make sure that you equally try and reduce your overheads. Those are your expenditures, and keep them as minimal as possible because you never know what's going to happen. So think in the short term during the pandemic, but also find a unique selling point. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
And why would you ask that question?
To prepare myself
For what?
for jobs in later life.
You're 12, darling. You're 12. Amani, do you have another question, or why are you smiling?
I do.
Uh-huh.
Would you ever leave someone in charge of the office one?
I do all the time.
In
What do you
case
think's
of
happening while I'm
emergencies.
here? I do. You have to, because you can't be everywhere all the time. You have to find that reliable person who can step into your shoes or to do certain key roles while you're away. And you must also, even during the pandemic, be able to work from another location. You have to be able to work from home or from a different location. Okay? So, yes, the answer to your question is yes. But just a second. As I said, this Q&A thing is about family bonding, so I get to ask some questions as well. So we're going to take a break, and after the break, when we come back, I get to ask some questions. And as I said, if you have questions, do text in. You can send it in through email to either the address on Truth and Justice TV or to the email that you see on the screen. So see you after these few moments. Welcome back, and today we're doing Q&As on our Christmas special. So I don't know what you're doing this Christmas, but I am going to spend time doing the relaxation and also family bonding. As I said, it can be very, very hard during this pandemic. It's quite stressful, unpredictable, but every single bit of time you can manage to spend with you and yours, that whether that's your family, your own kids, or those friends who you've brought in and made your family, make sure you try and make some quality time. And one of the games I like to play is Q&A, and that's not just professional Q&A with colleagues and networking, but also with the family. And as I said, it works both ways. The Q&A means that your kids, if you have kids, can get to ask you some really cool questions, and you set the rules before you start, like any other game. And you get to ask them questions. And before the break, they were grilling me, but now I get to grill them. So, Amani,
Yes.
what are you laughing for? My question: why do you watch so much YouTube?
Because it's my life.
Because it's your life. Yeah, baby. What do you mean?
It's my life.
I just need to know, what is the fascination? You watch program after program, hour after hour, and I do try and curtail it. But why YouTube and not ordinary TV or any of the Sky channels or things like that? Why not?
Because I just have style of YouTube and I don't like Sky.
You don't like Sky?
No.
Is it the particular way they do the programs? Do you think it's...
Yes.
Okay. Question answered. Amira,
Okay.
why is it that you like to answer questions with questions? And why is it that you like to be so, let me say, questioning? Not challenging, but questioning.
Do I?
Do I? See, a prime example.
I guess it's just for my way of communicating with other people.
Hmm?
And if I don't really understand a question that's being asked, or if I just joking around, I might just answer the question.
You like to be sarcastic, huh? Okay, no problem. So the other question I have for you is, within you and your peers, what do you think are the most challenging things that are going on?
during school?
Yes.
Right now, I think that some people might have difficulty expressing themselves during school and might not have a way of expressing themselves.
What makes you say that?
Some kids think that it would be shameful or upsetting if they went out and tried for something.
So they're not really sort of living in their truth. They're embarrassed in really saying what they feel or expressing themselves and doing what they want to do. Do you feel that way sometimes?
I think I have a way of expressing myself through different sorts of subjects or arts in school and in dance. So I don't really struggle with that.
Oh, Mrs. Confident, young. Okay. Amani,
Yes.
what is the thing you most enjoy at school at the moment?
I mean, what's my favourite thing to do in school?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It has a favourite
Okay.
Subject? Favorite subject?
subject. Favourite subject. My favourite subject will be like races.
You like sports, races?
No, my favourite thing is English.
English. Oh, English. I thought you said read English. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, at least we know what your favourite thing is. Now, my next question, you can imagine what it's going to be. What is your least favourite thing at school?
My least favourite school. Everything.
Everything apart from English.
English is boring.
English. Oh gosh,
I lied. I didn't have a favourite.
you don't have a favourite. And you? What's your least favourite thing?
Maybe more challenging subjects that require more attention. Like for me, maths.
Maths. I don't like maths, so yeah, I get that.
love maths.
Oh, suddenly you
Actually,
love.
no. It takes too long.
Okay, so brilliant. After the break, we are going to go into some other favourite things and bonding experiences and activities that some of the kids like. So I'm going to get them to suggest what those are. So see you after these few moments. Welcome back, and today is our Christmas special. So we are talking all about family bonding, questions, and how to really get on with the quality time, making sure that everybody's engaged and involved. For me, wherever and whenever possible, I like to involve my kids. As most of you know, on social media, I'm known as Mum on the Run because I'm either running to my kids or away from my kids. But again, it's all about spending that quality time and what to do. So during our question and answers, we got to know each other a little bit better. What we really like, what we don't like. Some of us are a bit confused. Mention no names, but we were really getting into just questions about ourselves and about life. So, talking about bonding activities that we really like, that really pull us together, I've kind of given my suggestions. But Amani, what activities do you like to do with friends and family? that gets you excited or makes you happy?
I don't have.
You don't have any. Okay, brilliant. You don't like going cinema? You don't like swimming? Okay, I take it.
I don't know how to swim.
Yeah, but you know how to splash, and everybody
I don't-
knows how to splash.
I can't get in the pool by myself.
Yeah, but I'm always there whenever you want to get. So he says he can't get in the pool by himself. I'm always there to catch him. Don't
I
worry.
can only go in mini.
Mini pools. Mini pools are cool. There's no problem with that. And yourself, young lady, what activities do you really like that bring the family together?
It could be something as this I was just watching a movie on the sofas with blankets.
Movie, sofas, blankets are always cool. And any other things?
When we maybe mostly on Sundays when we just sing and clean.
Sing and clean. Do you see? I like that. Dealing with just ordinary daily activities, singing, cleaning, but on a serious note, really getting the kids involved. Sometimes even doing chores. If you don't engage them, one, they don't know how to do it, they don't learn how to do them. And then the second thing is it can be arduous, you as the parent always doing those things. If possible, why not get them engaged, get them to take part? And it can be as simple as those basic chores. But for me, as I've said, quality time, out and about whenever possible. It can't always be possible, especially during a pandemic. So it might just be those very little simple things. Taking walks together, watching movies together, as indeed tidying up together. Those are all pretty cool things. But again, having that positive energy and spirit about it is also quite important. So you have to take the lead and take the lead positively on the suggestions, on engaging. And yes, there are days that you might not want to, but kids are kids and they will want to be up and out doing different things. So take the lead. Now, the other thing I was going to mention is on an important note, if you find that hard, you might want to start to do things in your area, such as mums groups or parents groups or guardian groups. Anybody who's responsible for a child might find the task a little bit daunting or overwhelming. So you might want to find like-minded parents in your area so that you can equally try and engage in these activities together. It's always fun when you do things in groups. So making sure that you are dealing with like-minded families or groups, people like yourselves, is important. Again, you might find this easy through your church or school network. So ask. If you don't ask, you'll never know. And there might already be established groups in your area. And one good place for finding out a lot of information about this type of thing is your local library. Within the local libraries, there's a lot of information that's relayed down from the local authority, and they may be organised activities that are sponsored by charities, NGOs, or directly from the local authority themselves. And you yourself, as I've said, if it's not there, you might need to start one for your area. A lot of the families that have come from diaspora groups find it maybe a little bit isolating at times because there's a barrier or barriers towards integrating. So if that's you and you find yourself in a unique position where you're not really amongst people who are from the same background of you, or finding it a little bit challenging, you might sit down and decide that you might want to start a group that engages, or find like-minded families as an initial step to try and engage with. Now, we are talking Christmas bonding activities. And if you're not a Christian, it doesn't matter. It's all about using the period, the season to engage and the time that you have off. So, what do you hope to do before school resumes?
Like a New Year's resolution.
It's up to you. It could be a New Year's resolution. It could be a change that you want to make. But what do you hope to happen? Or what do you want to make as a change in your life before school happens?
I want to pick up another skill. It doesn't really matter which one, but just so that maybe when I go back to school, then I'll have a new skill that I can use.
Like what? Example.
If there's group activities, then I can communicate more easily if I have more communicating skills.
I know you like languages, so when you say communication skills, like what? You want to pick up sign language or do you want to just pick up Another element to one of the languages you already know?
Maybe Spanish, if I can communicate more well in Spanish and use more adjectives when I'm talking.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know, no speak español, no. So you might want to pick up some and teach me. Another thing that when you find out something that your child's engaged in or interested in is help them do the research into that particular subject or ways in which they can improve on it. So for me, I know my favorite app for that is the Duolingo one.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at that together later. And young man, before school resumes, is there anything you want to do? Not at all. Not at all. Okay, well, there you go. Now, thank you very much for joining me today. As I said, it's our Christmas special. And I also invited you to ask questions also. What questions do you have for me? For families? Any tips around or questions around the family engagement that I've been discussing? Or any questions around some of the topics that we've covered during this season? We've covered domestic violence, purchasing property, family law, commercial property law. We've also dealt with residential purchases and had a number of guests. One that spoke about financial advice, residential mortgages, and also endometriosis most recently. So if we've covered a topic and you have any questions, let us know. But at this juncture, I'd like to say thank you for joining us on Truth and Justice TV. Without you, we wouldn't be making the programme. And make sure you have a happy Christmas. So season's greetings to you all. Make sure you do stay safe, enjoy yourself and be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. Say bye, kids. Bye.